there, Johnny? We just saw that video.
Just watched the Don Burke plant masturbation video.
And how did that make you feel?
It was a lot more intense than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like, the way you described it, it was, like, more full-on, like the way she was just continually groping that plant, and Don was standing there watching the shaft, yeah.
Plant shaft?
She was dominating, and he was loving it.
I couldn't get over the establishing shot of the moon.
Yeah.
And then the sack starts, and then it pans down to a point-of-view masturbation shot.
Yeah.
With Don just standing there, overlooking the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was on Burke's backyard, dude.
Then his comment at the end, it doesn't
look entirely unpleasant.
Entirely unpleasant at all.
That's fucked. But you've seen the allegation. What were the allegations about him? They're saying that he forced himself on women, or they're saying that he's a tyrant and like just an egomaniac and blah blah blah. And
he was always trying to get girls to fuck him, like always suggesting
and
he
it. He came out saying that he's got an undiagnosed case of Asperger's or whatever it is.
Oh, I've never gone to the doctor for it, but I know that's what I've got. Dude, it's got to do it.
I've summed it up. That's what it is.
Yeah. Like Kevin Spacey came out and said that he's gay. Yeah. Like, that's just going to deflect the blow. Like,
it's all right then. It's all good.
No, it's fine. If you're gay, I guess that means you can molest people.
Oh, if he's gay, that's all right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got Asperger's, that's fine. Fucking psycho. And he's coming out denying everything.
Yeah. I'll admit, though, before all this shit came out, I always thought Don Burke was just your all-round nice guy. Like, real, like...
Nah.
Real sensitive and just nice and friendly.
Man.
That's the vibe I got.
Dude, I used to watch the show and just look at him like, you're fucked. He used to... I remember the show when I was a kid, and I hated it because I didn't have an interest in gardening to begin with. But he always came out appearing like some pompous fucking schmuck. And I remember because my mum liked the show.
Yeah, my mum did as well. That's why I used to watch it with her.
Yeah, and I'd be like, why are we watching this shit? Like, really? Who gives a fuck? Like, but that's me, just because I didn't have an interest in it. You know what I mean? But he always came across as a jerk. And then when that guy I used to work with told me about his personal experience with him, and I was like, yeah, you can just see it at him. Yeah, he's one of those old school boys club heads, you know what I mean? Like Daryl Summers, like fucking all these cunts. What? So more will come out. I guarantee you, more heads will roll in that top tier.
But it's good, like, that era is kind of behind us now, whereas, like, you know, the era where you could get away with that.
Dude, was it the guy from INXS? Was it the drummer from INXS or the guitarist or something? He said that he wishes it was back to the days when you could just slap a woman on the ass.
Yeah.
Was it? It was INXS, wasn't it?
I think it was INXS, yeah.
Yeah. He goes, those were the better days because, you know, everyone's too politically sensitive. It's like, dude...
Well, they come from the time where it was like the women stay at home, man goes to work, they have the meal ready, they shut up, they don't back talk.
It's a different time, man. It wasn't a time for the better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't like the fact that we are too politically correct because this podcast is nothing but... We're not politically correct. As in, no, we are to a point. How would you say... What do you think we are? Are we aware of where social standings are, or are we not? Because we talk about a lot of taboo shit as well.
I think we're more aware these days. Like,
do you think we've grown in 18 months? I don't know. If you listen to one of our first podcasts, dude, we've been doing this for nearly 18 months.
Yeah.
Dude, what episode are we up to? Like 68 or something?
Something like that.
Somewhere?
Dude, I've been overseas twice.
Yes. Yeah.
I got married, had a kid, been overseas twice.
Yeah, in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
I've got a fucking sleeve started, man. Yeah, like it's been a while.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you've matured or grown in the last 18 months? Or do you reckon we're still the same scumbags we were?
We're still pretty scummy, but...
Still pretty scummy, but I think I've grown a bit because I've had a family.
Yeah, you've had to. Yeah?
Just constantly talking about all this stuff, it kind of just makes you more aware of, like...
Okay, yeah, I was just going to... You know what? Perfect example, man. This time last year, Trump was just winning the election, right? And you were for Trump. Now you're completely against Trump.
I was never really for Trump.
No, you were. Fuck off.
You were Team Trump.
Dude. I
thought maybe he was like the guy that was going to be against the establishment.
Yeah, you said that he would shake it up because he had no experience. He'd be someone from the outside shaking it up. They were your words.
That was just me being optimistic.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying they were your words. But a year later, you're not saying the same shit. You're saying he's fucked, like he's out of his mind.
Probably senile.
You started this podcast off today saying that he sounds senile.
Dementia.
Yeah, that's dementia. Yeah? Meaning you've grown. Meaning you've actually paid attention to what he's doing, and we're talking about it as it happens every day. Dude, a lot of people don't pay attention to shit. A lot of people give me urban myths and legends now that, like, their parents probably told them, like, 20 years ago. Like, does that make sense? And
yes.
Like, don't you read? Does anyone fucking read?
Reading's finished, dude.
Yeah.
Reading is finished.
I'm just saying, for the point of, you know...
We are also like, we always research stuff. We're always looking at stuff. We're always...
Yeah, but that's
not
nuts.
everyone does
Not
that,
everyone,
though.
fucking
Not
hardly
everyone
anyone does that, man.
No.
Do you have a library card fucking at all? When was the last time you went to a library?
I used to go to the library a lot when I was younger, but now it's just like you can just get whatever you want.
Yeah.
But will you
Online.
take Indy to the library to get her when she starts to...
Well, we always go and buy books, and she can choose a book and I read it to her. But the library, I feel it's a bit like out of date now.
Yeah, but you buy books.
Yeah, buy books.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some people don't. Oh, speaking of it, because you're fucking conspiracies, because the last episode we were talking about conspiracy heavy, I went home and started looking into shit like an idiot. I was looking into Aztecs. You read much about the Aztecs and the Incas?
Yeah.
I was reading 2 bits of comparison. The Aztecs and, like, their technology and, like, why the Aztec calendar...
The Mayan calendar, bro, yeah.
The Mayan calendar. Then I was looking about the point of comparison between Aztecs in South America and then Egyptians in Africa had almost identical fucking monuments.
Same buildings, same monuments.
Same monuments, same hieroglyphics. Why? You know, how can that possibly be, you know... It's fucked. Like, everyone forgets that they were the same time period, people on different side of the planet.
Didn't have aeroplanes.
Nah, with the exact same technology... Dude, you couldn't tell the difference between...
The architecture's just the same.
It's almost identical, right? Then I got my...
And they have the same, religious beliefs.
Yeah, the deities are all, like, stemming from the gods, sun god...
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah? I went... that's when I got my...
the same tale of how humans came about.
Yeah, the same creation.
All around the world.
Yeah. I went and got my sleeve finished off. Well, not finished off, but just this stuff. I got this done that following week, yeah? And I was talking about it with my tack guy, and he came up with a fucking theory for, like, just evolution of humanity and all that sort of shit. And I was like, wow, I actually never thought about it like that. I called it his theory of redistribution. Yeah? Think about it, right? So if everything's a cycle, yeah? And we've established that the Earth continues to regenerate itself, right? So, like, if we disappear... Humans, remember that stat? Like, I remember watching a YouTube video. In how many years would human beings be wiped off the face of the earth? Like, if the end of times came, if, like, a big cataclysmic thing happened and humanity was wiped off, in how many years would our footprint on this planet be wiped out? Do you want to look it up? I remember watching a YouTube video, but I didn't write it down. I watched, like, 4 or 5 of these, because you guys told me to watch it. Like, what happens when humanity ends? And how quickly will the Earth rejuvenate itself to be back at peak capacity, as opposed to because we're toxic.
Yeah,
we're a disease, like on the planet.
A cancer.
Yeah, no, we are. We are a cancer on the planet.
Like it could be different to that, right? If we had people that weren't interested in making money, leading the place, right?
Oh yeah.
Like we could be not like a cancer. We could be benefiting the Earth and working with it, but we're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So I was.
You know they've got a doomsday clock, right?
Yeah, and they adjust it accordingly. Every time we get closer to, like, World War, it goes up.
Yeah, it's
the closest it's been was, like, 2 minutes to midnight. That's where the Iron Maiden song came from.
2 minutes to midnight?
Yeah. So I was talking about this with the tack guy, and I was talking to him about how they're putting power stations up in the sky and all that sort of shit, as in, like, that may be the next step into getting us off this planet. And he said, well, I coined it, his theory of redistribution, yeah? He goes, information now is all just data. Yeah, like as in we don't have CDs anymore. We hardly ever use USBs. Everything's in a cloud. You know, like everyone's got a cloud account with Samsung.
Digital age.
Everything's digital. You know, all my information. I'm reliant less and less.
Unless you're like my old man, and he has catalogues of VHS tapes stored under the stairs.
Yeah, dude.
Which you won't let go of.
I had to burn a CD for someone the other day, and I couldn't.
Burn a CD?
Yeah, an audio CD to play in a CD player, but I couldn't do it because my DVD burner or whatever, it's a Blu-ray player, but for some reason it wasn't set up to fucking burn DVDs. I don't know why. It was just burning images. I built that computer a year ago, but I never... it's taken me over a year to test drive the fucking CD functionality.
Because you never need to do it. Yeah,
never needed it, man. It was either all Wi-Fi to my phone or USB or
this
whatever.
Laptop here that I have has a writable CD drive as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you used it?
Nah. Before.
Yeah. Dude, I was going to get a floppy disk tatted on my hand. Like, dude, that tape thing... Dude, when was the last time you used a cassette tape like the one on my wrist?
I have a cassette tape player in my car, but I haven't used it.
Dude, I've got it here. I've got my old hi-fi here in this fucking studio, man. Like, I haven't used a tape player.
If I found my old Elton John best hits, I'd probably use it.
Rocket Man.
Oh, dude.
I'm still standing.
I grew up on that
I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, it wouldn't take us long.
Nah. within like 100 years
Dude,
or something,
It'd be gone.
within 100 to 200 years, the Earth will have basically absolved
Yeah.
any trace of humanity, right? So it'd be literally back to...
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
If you will.
It'd be back to the way it was.
Yeah, as in any footprint of us. All buildings will have fallen away to rust, erosion.
No trace of humanity.
No trace of humanity within a couple hundred years of... Because, like, the way the videos broke it down was, like, if a power plant reactor doesn't have people working in there, within 72 hours...
Gone.
Something would collapse.
Yeah,
something would
it all
break.
needs maintenance, constant maintenance and stuff.
Things in the world that we've set up need
So I watched
constant
that video that what would happen if humans disappeared.
Yeah.
And I watched that. It goes for like an hour into something, whatever.
Yeah.
And it shows like...
And like mushroom clouds would just start taking over like
Yeah.
everywhere because of everything just bursting.
And then we'd get into the dark ages.
The dams would overfill because there's no one constantly like reusing water and la 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 la. Like think about it. If you left your house unmaintained for 100 years, it'd be in the ground. If it was made of wood, it'd be fucking just gone. Yeah? So we was talking about the theory of redistribution, and he said everything's going up into the cloud now, right? So that's the next step. Humanity's footprint will be all in the cloud as far as digital data, information, all that sort of shit. It's just going more and more, like, you know, just going...
On a bunch of circuit boards somewhere.
Yeah. It's just further and further up, right? So less here, more up there. What happens if society's wiped out, humanity's wiped out the way it has in the past, like wiped the dinosaurs and wiped this and wiped that? What happens if we all get wiped out and the only information we have about ourselves is up in a cloud on digital servers that just get destroyed?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you drop a server in water, it's fried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine like
And all the bits are corrosible, so they'll just disappear.
a fucking asteroid or a meteor or something comes, hits the Earth, humanity's wiped out. Within a couple hundred years, the footprint of humanity is gone, and then evolution starts again. And the next wave of humans come.
And then they think they're the ones...
They think they're the fucking ones.
And we'll go through again all the different
same
periods.
evolutionary process. Yeah. And at some point in time, they'd learn how to read, write,
And
walk,
who knows that
create
happens
their own
here?
fucking religion.
Yeah.
And then along the way, they find a couple monuments or a fucking USB drive. Like, oh, what the fuck is this? You know? No, seriously. He goes, you ever thought of that? I'm like, fuck, man. I go, that's genius. I never thought to look at it like that. We're just constant, because the planet we know can heal itself and just kick the wave off again. So who's to say we're not the fucking millionth reincarnation of humanity?
It's like the ancients, they wrote shit in stone, so it's always going to be there forever. That's why they
the last wave of humanity that we've seen. Yeah. They wrote in stone because that's what they had.
Yeah. Even
Maybe that's what survived the fucking apocalypse. Like, who knows? But, like, it could get to a point where everything just goes digital, it gets wiped, and then it's a fresh slate again, and we start again.
Yeah.
How do we know that's not a theory? As in, why isn't that a theory that people have looked at? Or maybe it is, and, you know.
Maybe just people are scared.
Because that's a big fucking thing to think about. Can you imagine that?
Just blew Johnny's mind, man.
No, I'm dead set. I wasn't even stoned like when we were talking about this. Like, we were legit. It was just me and the tech guy, and we were just talking. I think that's legit. I think that's a really cool thing to think about.
That's why I love, like, alternative history so much, because, like, they're digging up shit that shouldn't be there for that time and stuff.
Oh, you mean like the, what are they called? Anunnaki and all that sort of stuff?
Well, they're finding civilizations, like whole civilizations of people that they never knew about.
Oh, yeah. Dude, they said they found the missing link to Atlantis. The city of Atlantis. You read about that?
Dude, yeah, all that shit.
Most people don't know about Atlantis. You want to pull up the Atlantis facts? A lot of people don't know about Atlantis, and that was one of the first things that was probably one of the first conspiracies I read about, dude, as a kid.
Yeah, that was one of my first ones.
I remember being like 9, 10 years old and reading about it in like a library book somewhere, man.
There's a rogue historian that I really like, Graham Hancock. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
Graham Hancock, dude, he's the best. Like,
I wrote it down. Graham Hancock.
He just does expeditions where he goes out scuba diving and finds like lost cities and shit under the ocean.
It's saying here that the lost city of Atlantis would be near Santorini.
Yeah, well, that's they say
that's one of the
somewhere near there,
between Athens and Santorini. 10 things you probably didn't know about the lost city of Atlantis.
Highly advanced.
Fuck! That just brought up something from my childhood, man. I just realised it now. I remember. I told you about putting people in trances, yeah? I'm sure I've told you about it. We used to put people in trances back when I was probably I don't think I was a teenager yet. I was probably like 12 or 13 maybe. And I've got a family friend who's a couple of years older than me. And it works, dude, because we've done it. It's like a form of hypnosis, but You basically lie the person down, a few people are around them, just a dark room, candles so they can just focus on one light source, and then ease them into like a form of tranquility. And you can basically get them to just go anywhere in their own mind, like whatever their interpretation is. But you can guide them through like a dreamlike state. It fucking works. It used to creep us out. The last time I did it was my mum's house in Clayton. There's about 6 of us in the living room, dude, and we put someone in a trance. It was fucked up, right? But I remember my sister, and our family friend, and I can't remember who else was there. There's probably like 4 or 5 of us. We put, I think, my sister in a trance, and her what she saw was like. She said she was on an island that was sort of half unearthed, and there was some sort of explorers or some people there with diagrams and charts and shit, and it looked like the island was half submerged in water, and half the city was underneath water and half of it wasn't. She said this back in like the mid-90s, mid to late 90s, dude. So it would have been like 96 or 97 or something. And I remember I said, man, that sounds like Atlantis. Like you've literally travelled to Atlantis. The thought of that is fucked.
And watch a video on Atlantis. It's fucking so cool, man. It's
I've watched tons of shit on Atlantis.
Yeah, so cool. Like, yeah.
they even made a Disney fucking cartoon. Like it's Atlantis. Yeah.
But they're saying, was it myth? Was it thing? They're saying that is Santorini Atlantis?
Yeah.
They're saying, is it? It could be. Is it underneath the ocean?
How many years back does it go, though?
Well, they're saying that if Atlantis was around today, it'd be 11,500 years old. Roughly.
Jesus.
11,000 years. Yeah. But the civilization was quite advanced there. It wasn't like some shit cunt fucking, it was quite, you know what I mean?
Shit cunt.
Yeah, they were like technologically advanced.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, dude,
and Plato,
Plato
wrote about it and everything. It was true. Like,
I don't know. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins. Have you played it yet?
I saw you on there. Me and my brother and sister are waiting till Christmas Day, and we're going to bunker in.
Why?
We're going to bunker in with our sour attitudes towards Christmas and play Origins all day.
Yeah, dude. It's the first PlayStation game.
Man, put some snags on the Barbie and play some Assassins.
Yeah.
It's the first PlayStation game I've played more or less since I started my role at work, so like 4 or 5 months. I haven't played it all. And I said, you know what? I'm exhausted, man. I've been coming home and not having anything to do, as in just been wired.
It's good to play a good adventure game.
Just to fucking just chill for an hour, every couple of days or whatever.
What I love about that game is all the facts and shit.
But dude, this one is the most historically in-depth one I've seen so far. And like I told you guys last time, it was based around the time of Ptolemy in Alexandria in Egypt. So post Alexander the Great. So in the game, you hear ancient Greek, because no one knows what ancient Greek sounds like. All right, we base it off the classical Greek language.
There's like a few words that people might know, but
the language itself, no one knows what it sounded like because it was sort of sung.
Zoba, Efkarasto.
You're
fucking idiot.
No, like it didn't even really sound like Greek.
It doesn't sound. It sounds more. It sounds like a chopped and screwed version of the shit you hear in church.
Yeah.
The priest talks. The priest talks like a classical Greece mock-up, right? Because we've got Demotic Greek now, which is just modern-day Greek. Yeah, dude.
Apostle P.
It's so fucking weird because I've been saying it to people that I've talked about the game. Every video game I've ever played, whenever there's another language, it's always fucking German, Russian, Italian, or Spanish. Every time.
Or they just dismiss it and give a pompous English.
Yeah, they've all got English accents, yeah?
It's like when you watch the historical movies.
Yeah. Alexander the Great.
It's like, how dare you? I'm pretty sure they were in English, dude.
Yeah. Fucking Angelina Jolie with a Russian accent.
Yeah.
She looks like she's 30 years younger than fucking Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
Dude, this is the first time I'm running around and I can hear Greek being spoken in fragments. How fucking trippy it is?
That's cool.
It's so cool, man. But I've been playing it, and I'm looking at these cities, because historically a lot of it's accurate, yeah? Because you've still got, you get to Giza, and they've got fucking the Great Pyramids, the Sphinx, like, all that shit.
That's cool.
And you can cover, like, the relics, and they've got, like, all the historical elements behind the relics and all that sort of shit.
Johnny's like, thanks for ruining the game for me.
No.
Thanks, Mr. I ruined the game.
It's on the cover of the game, man. I'm not ruining anything.
I know about it. I can't wait to play it. Yeah.
But you're looking at the way these societies are set up, man, because they're, like, they're pretty close historically, like, the representation of them.
That's why I like the older ones, like all the Italian cities and shit you go through. Like, takes you back. Dude, that's why I love that ship one so much, because took me back to like those ship fucking faring days.
Yeah, man.
With scurvy and that. Yeah.
And historically, you're looking at these cities, and you're just seeing, because they're true to scale. Like the size of the pyramids are true to scale to like the rest of it. Dude, you think how the fuck did they? This city was functioning like thousands of years ago, and they've got everything to do. They've got aqueducts and fucking swimming pools and mansions and villas, and it's like, dude, it's not far off from some of the shit we have now.
And they just disappeared doing overnight.
But think about what rich people do now: mansions, pools.
Oh, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same. And they build mansions like they were constructed back in the day, with the columns and the thing.
Yeah. Every time you see a drug lord out of Colombia, they've got some fucking villa with big Roman columns in the front.
The columns are there.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's a sign of prestige.
And power.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of people that say, like...
My column is bigger than yours.
Yeah.
No, you say that.
Yeah, a lot of people they still say that the way that we're told that it was built just doesn't fly. Like, it's just, like, the sheer size of these things, to say that, like, slaves pushed them up on, a sled device, it's just not accurate. But
I mean, as in Giza itself.
Yeah, like the Great Pyramid or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, they're fucking big.
Massive. Like, the only reason I'd love to go there and see it is just to actually get a grasp on the actual size of them, because you can't do that like watching videos.
Oh, it doesn't give it justice, dude.
Has anyone ever thought that the rock was there and they just chiseled it?
Nah, because
all the bits fit together.
It's all like a puzzle, dude. And inside the pyramid,
that's the amazing thing about it. To make it all like precise with the angles within an inch, with blocks, it's like just a phenomenal.
Even today,
they'd struggle to do it.
They wouldn't be able to do it
with what they had.
And then the hidden tunnels and shit inside.
Yeah, the chambers and
mind you, there's the chambers inside, right, which are as big as a fucking city in itself.
Yeah.
And then you got the intricate fucking hieroglyphics on the inside where they would never have gotten light or like tools or anything.
Yeah, so it tells you how the fuck.
We wouldn't be. People put together these porter fucking huts now with 4 walls and a slab of concrete, and they struggle.
Dude, I put Eli his little I built a library thing from Pottery Barn yesterday, and I'm like cracking the shits.
Dude, my building
is like Homer's crazy art with all the nails sticking out.
No, I did it pretty good.
No, but I've said it. Like, my building is falling apart. There are so many defects in my building, leaks and shit. Like, dude, this was built with modern technology and fucking engineers.
Dude, these were apparently built by slaves and just like chisel tools,
using chisels and rocks and fucking horses.
Jesus.
Yeah,
and it's like just the precision of the angles.
Yeah, like down to a fucking millimeter, man.
It's within an inch.
How?
And like the engineers I've listened to, like on alternative history things, just say it's an impossible fucking feat. Like for the time that they were so smart, so smart, like so much smarter.
And that's what I mean. It's like you start with Giza, right? And look at the pyramids and the Sphinx and all that, and just the artistic and articulateness of like the dimensions of it. Then you look at like the fucking like the Parthenon in the Acropolis. Then you go to Angkor Wat and see like the big statues there. Like I've been to Angkor Wat.
Machu Picchu, the fucking city up in the mountains that has all like fucking aqueducts and like, full functioning.
How? Machu Picchu is insane, man. Like just the sheer technology of it, man. How does this shit get done?
I'd just love to get a little glimpse, just to look at like the pyramids being built.
Yeah,
just a quick little glimpse. That'd be the coolest fucking
10 minutes. 10 minutes to be amongst it and to see what.
Just enough for me to smoke a smoke.
Yeah, just have a dart.
Yeah,
and just watch it all go down.
Dart's length. That's good.
Yeah, you think about it. Think about, dude. If you could, like the time period and the monuments around the world. Like if you look up the ancient wonders of the world, like the ancient, like the 7 wonders of the world, they broke it down into categories. They had like the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the 7 wonders of the modern world, the 7 wonders, because there was too many. Because I remember like at one point the Parthenon was on it, the Taj Mahal was on it, and then they changed it.
Well,
and they put.
I'll tell you, the 7 wonders of the ancient world are the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Yeah.
The Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Yeah.
The statue of Zeus at Olympia.
Yeah.
The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus.
Yeah.
Mausoleum at Halicarnassus.
What, the mausoleum?
Yeah.
Where's that?
In I'll look it up.
Just look.
I'll have a look at it.
I've never seen that.
The Colossus of Rhodes and the Lighthouse of Alexandria in Egypt.
Yeah. All these are fucking Greek past Greek structures. Yeah.
I want to look at this mausoleum thing.
Yeah, but think about it, man. Like, could you imagine being, like, when they're building the Great Wall? Can you imagine what that would have been like? Fucking thousands upon thousands of Chinese workers just hauling slabs of rock. Or like the terracotta warriors, man. Or
the terracotta warriors. Yeah.
Have you ever looked in Easter Island?
Yeah.
The monolith statues.
No,
People forget. Like, Even to this day, they've got no idea what the fuck those are. Why are you laughing?
It's funny.
The mausoleum thing is...
the heads of Easter Island.
The tomb of Mausolus was a tomb built... It's in current-day Turkey, in Bodrum, but it's a Greek structure built between 353 and 350 BC. He built a satrap in the Persian Empire, and his sister wife, Artemisia, it's her temple. The structure was designed by Greek architects. Shit.
Dude.
I think they used to do the Zob there to please the gods. I'm pretty sure.
You're ridiculous.
Sacrifice a goat.
Dude, you want to laugh? Who do you reckon owns Easter Island?
Easter Bunny.
No, because it's a Polynesian island, right?
The Queen.
It's in Oceania, like it's a Polynesian island, yeah? Who do you reckon owns it?
Trump, yeah.
Nah. It's a Chilean island. Dude, how does Chile own an island in Polynesia? Polynesian people most likely settled on Easter Island sometime between 700 and 1100 AD and created a thriving and industrious culture as evidenced by the island's numerous enormous stone moai and other artifacts. However, human activity, the introduction of the Polynesian rat and overpopulation led to the gradual deforestation and extinction of natural resources, which severely weakened the Rapa Nui civilization. By the time
get him, rats.
By the time of European arrival in 1722, the island's population had dropped to 2,000, 3,000 from approximated high of approximately 15,000 just 100 years earlier. And then European diseases.
I wonder how that could happen.
European diseases.
That's strange.
And Peruvian slave raiding in the 1860s further reduced the Rapa Nui population to a low of only 111 inhabitants in 1877.
Shit.
100 cunts lived there 100 years ago. From 15,000 over over a course of like 400 years. That's fucked. Dude. Easter Island is considered of insular Chile. It's a special territory of Chile that was annexed in 1888.
There's like hundreds of those heads.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Some of them go real deep.
It's called Easter Island because the Dutch explorer that was the first recorded European visitor, he encountered it on Easter Sunday while he was searching for David's Island. That's it.
A likely story.
Yeah. The current Polynesian name of the island, Rapa Nui, Big Rapa, was coined after the slave raids of the 1860s. Dude, so it's like they raided the joint for big, strong slaves, and they decided to steal the name. Like, yeah, might as well give them the name of the island so we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
No, like, literally, dude. That's so fucked up.
It says you can go there and visit 6 days. $1,000.
Polynesian history is pretty incredible. Like, they've been there since the fucking, like,
the times, man.
1000 AD, you know what I mean? And they've been building these monoliths, man. They're fucked. Hang on. I gotta see what it says about it.
What was the obsession with just monoliths with ancient fucking... They all just love to...
But they don't even know what the fuck they were, man. Dude, when James Cook visited the island, one of his crew members, a Polynesian from Bora Bora, was able to communicate with the Rapa Nui. The language most similar to Rapa Nui is Mangarivan, with an estimated 80% similarity in vocabulary. It's insane.
Got off the boat, cocked his gun, and they knew what was coming.
Look, man.
Righto.
Like, I'll give you one option. Drop your spear.
It was sign language. He cocked the gun, and they all went running, and that was it.
Oh, dude. The most visible element in the culture was the production of massive statues called moai that some believe represented deified ancestors. According to National Geographic, most scholars suspect that the moai were created to honour ancestors, chiefs, or other important personages. However, no written or little oral history...
Yeah, they don't actually know.
Yeah, no written and little oral history exists on the island, so impossible to be certain. It is believed that the living had a symbiotic relationship with the dead, in which the dead provided everything that the living needed. So health, fertility of land, blah, 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 blah. They were erected just to watch over the coastline, yada, yada, yada. Dude, it's fucked. But those things exist everywhere, man. It's not just there.
That's all over the place.
Yeah, like, where else do they have them? Like, hang on. Let me suss this out.
Oh, the actual heads themselves?
Yeah, like those monolith things, yeah.
So I'd love to go back to ancient Greece, man.
Why ancient Greece out of all of them?
I find it so, like, because imagine all the knowledge from all the scholars and stuff that you could learn.
Sit down, young Nicholas. I'll tell you about the stars, my friend.
The stars?
So could you imagine what kind of knowledge they could lay down on you, man? Like, just shit that you'd think, what the fuck? You know?
What the fuck?
And we ended up going to fucking South Oakley. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's what life bestowed on us. We're in 2017, and we're reminiscing about South Oakley Secondary back in 97.
yeah.
That's like, you know
But
what I
our
mean?
Greek ancestry were ancient Greeks that learnt from like Plato
Building
and scholars
studying
and,
the stars and
yeah, and we're sitting there learning about fucking. We're in SOS. Anyway,
home economics
yeah, okay, with
with Mrs. Baker. Funnily enough,
Oh, yeah. Dude,
Master
the
Baker.
heaviest mow erected was a shorter but squatter mower at some other joint, weighing 86 tons. 86 tons! How? Dude, these things are massive. Like, they're fucking huge, and they carved them out of rock. If you told me to chisel out like a bust of Michelangelo's David and I had 100 years to do it, I wouldn't get anywhere near it.
I'd probably do his like foot.
Yeah, man. I give up.
imagine being handed a chisel and say, "We want this big, giant, square, perfect, right-angled, please. Get on it right now." How do you think? How would your massive stone come out? Like, seriously, dude. I'd break a nail and start crying within the first 10 minutes.
Right now.
Now you'd sit there, light a smoke, and be like,
Dude, I'd slip it in my finger. I'd be like, "Fuck this. This is never going to happen."
Just outright fuck.
tell him he's dreaming, mate.
But there's thousands of these blocks, and they all fit together perfect, and they're all chiseled to just the right dimensions. But pyramids used to be like, they used to be flat and like reflective. They were like these giant big mirrors in the middle of the desert, dude.
What?
The Great Pyramids.
What do you mean reflective?
Like at their height of like perfection, they were like polished. The rocks were polished.
yeah.
And when you polish those rocks, they give like a mirror
Yeah,
effect.
like a shiny...
So it was
Which would beam up to the universe.
Yeah, in Assassins...
light technology.
Dude, in Assassins, when you climb up the main ones, it's all fucking mirrored. But that's how they got the lights in the actual pyramids to see. My mum explained this to me. It was one of my earliest memories of history. She told me that they used big mirrors to shine the light in a relay sort of form from outside into the middle of the tunnels.
That's one thing I want to do before I die, man. Is go see the pyramids. That'd be one thing I'd love.
That's
to
on
do.
my bucket list for sure.
Yeah. I've gone to the Parthenon. I've seen Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stuff like that. You know, I've seen a lot of the Rome.
I wanted to, my bucket list for shit like that was the Sphinx, the pyramids, and Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal would be amazing.
Because I wanted to go to India since I was fucking grade 1.
Yeah.
After my grade 1 teacher literally spent, not grade 1, grade 2, we literally spent 2 weeks learning about India, and I just saw pictures of the Taj Mahal. I'm like, this has got to be done. But you know what's fucked, dude? Like
Even the Taj Mahal, like that's just a fucking...
That's a monstrosity in itself.
and it's like circular, like full smooth.
Have
like,
you seen the carvings
How
on
smart were these people,
Have you
dude?
seen the carvings on the Taj Mahal? How intricate it is? Because everyone knows what it looks like. When you get close, get on Instagram or something, you can see it perfectly, dude. Intricate carvings.
attention to detail.
Dude, it's fucked.
But they put a job ad in the paper. Must have attention to detail.
But dude, you
Must have 10 years in the stonemasonry business.
on Seek.
Red card required.
Forklift license favourable. Looked upon favourably.
Must be able to lift heavy.
You know when you go to agencies, it says must be able to lift up to 25 kilos. This says must be able to lift 1 ton.
1 ton.
Dude, well, think about this, yeah? The Taj Mahal, right, is an ivory white marble mausoleum on the south bank of the Yamuna River in the city of Agra.
Racist.
All right, it was commissioned in
Animal haters.
1632, yeah, by the Shah Jahan, reigned from 28 to 1658.
Oh, Shah Jahan.
Okay, to house the tomb of his favourite wife, right?
Imagine being his not favourite wife. People are like, what a prick.
All right, Sharon, when you die, you get a tent.
You get the bungalow.
Sharon.
Not princess whatever. It's Shaz.
Sharon.
Now, my Princess Jasmine, the Taj Mahal is yours.
Shut up, Shannon. You know what I mean?
Give me your bungalow, Sharon. Shut up.
The bungalow.
Dude, get this shit, yeah? Think about this. It was commissioned in 1632. It was essentially completed in 1643. So that was 11 years later. And then, but work continued on other phases of the project for another 10 years, right? So 21 years this thing was going. And the Taj Mahal is believed to have been completed in its entirety in 1653. So from 32 to 53, man, 21 years this thing was going, right? The construction project employed some 20,000 artisans under the guidance of a board of architects, man, led by the court architect to the emperor. This is in fucking 1632.
I just looked up his favourite wife.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why it was his favourite wife?
Oh, here we go.
Her name was Mumtaz Mahal.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Mumtaz
best,
Mahal,
the
yeah.
best gobbies.
No. She died, right, while giving birth to her 14th child.
Yeah.
Dude, she had some childbearing hips, that bitch.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
And
shit.
it was about his grief for the death of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he could build the mausoleum. Dude, how many thousands of people died building this thing? Like, literally.
But his wife died and he's like, this is fucked.
And it took 21 years of 20,000 people building this thing, man. Commitment to the job. Can you imagine being an engineer that, like, started on the first day? Guy's got grey hairs, lost
That's
everything.
amazing. It's fucking
But it's
amazing.
fucking
amazing.
incredible.
It's
Now, that's the thing. We built that 500 years ago. People built that 600 years ago, right? 600 years ago. And we worship it now like it's the biggest tourist trap.
Yeah.
It's a love story filled with death and, slavery. But, like, carrying on, when they build the, what are they, in Dubai? What are they called? The
islands.
No. The fucking two towers.
Oh, the Burj.
Is it the Burj?
The Burj. I went and saw it when we were
People
there.
see that now. Have you heard about the construction of that thing? People just would jump into their deaths, work into the ground, like working 23 hours
They're
a day.
just South Asian slave labour.
Jawad, actually, from work, was telling me, he said,
yeah,
they
Jawad,
get paid a
yeah.
pittance. They work, like, massive long days.
I
and get
was
paid
at a
pittance.
hotel, right? And I was next door and they were building this massive building. I stayed in Dubai for about 10 days. And then you'd see it every day at 5 o'clock, a bus would come pick them up and they'd go to like camps. Literally like concentration camps. And they'd bring them back in the morning at like 6 a.m. Like at 6 a.m. you hear call for prayer. And then they'd start work after that. And they wouldn't go, they'd work 12 hours. These cunts wouldn't take a break. Literally.
What did you pray for? More money.
And literally, the tools that they were using were quite prehistoric.
Yeah, rudimentary, man. Like, fuck.
Really, and you'd see them. There's like 400 people on this one site. There's no OH&S. There's no fucking, there's no like
Union?
no scaffolding.
Yeah.
No worksafe.com?
Man, these guys are wearing sandals, dude.
Yeah.
On a work
But
site.
you know what's funny is that fucking monument is going to become it's like people are
The
criticizing
amount of money that it's going to bring in.
the money's going to bring in, and the Western tourists that are going to be traveling to that thing just to see it and get their fucking selfie with it, and like pretending to hold it and shit. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's so heavy, I've got it. Don't worry.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to clean up doing that shit. Is it any different to what I did in Sydney for the Pope's fucking visit, man? I was working 16-hour days, 15-hour days, laying flooring to protect the ground.
You were a minion.
I was carrying, I was literally carrying, this isn't a joke.
The Pope was in his Pope mobile. Whoosh.
It's like a 10 whip.
Dude, this isn't a fucking joke. I was carrying
minion.
9 foot of fucking rolled up flooring, right? 9 foot of rolled up flooring on my back.
Johnny carries 18.
I carry that on my cock.
Dude, it weighed about, when it was wet or like loose as, it would fucking weigh like up to 50 kilos.
Fucking oath, man.
I would carry
Oh,
it.
sodden.
We had the technique. You had to have this fucking technique. You'd lean down and
Roll
roll it up onto your shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh.
9 foot of fucking flooring. I would carry it like 100 meters, drop it on the floor, and start plucking it in. Dude, we did that to protect the grass. Yeah.
For the Pope.
For the Pope. For his 6-day fucking rock star tour.
For his holiness.
And then when you were packing it up, you were dodging STDs and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that
Connie's-
trip, we lost some good men on that trip. Dude. I'm not even joking. A couple guys broke, literally broke.
That can't go on.
No, I'm serious, man. We sent one guy home, and I went and visited him. He lived a couple streets away from my mum. He was on crack. He was fucked.
The Pope broke him.
Just fucked him.
The job broke him.
He lost all faith in humanity after that job.
It's like any job, man. And that's the thing. Is it really that different? Because I've worked in events, man, and I see... Like I go out to these massive jobs, you know what I mean? Like the Pearl Jam fucking concert, setting up Big Day Out, whatever the fuck
Same
it
shit.
is. It's the same shit. You got minions and minions of like South Asians, right? Because
People telling them what
they're
to
going to
do.
take the job. They're going to get paid $17.50 an hour to work 10 hours a day in the sun with your water breaks every fucking 4 hours.
The end result is this beautiful glitzy thing that's going to make money for the person who built it. It's going to continue to make money. It's going to bring people in. But behind it,
You're breaking in these South Asians, man.
is slave labour.
It is.
And for them, lose one, recruit another.
Yeah,
lose 10, recruit
we
10.
fall off the fucking grid. It's like flies on a fucking train.
And the way
in
I
a
saw
takeaway
them,
shop.
dude, the way I saw them getting on and off that bus, dude, depressing, man. It was
Oh, yeah.
fucking depressing. Really bad. Really bad.
Yeah, but it exists.
Yeah.
How is that not the same as the Egyptians or like?
Like, if people say there's no such thing as slavery anymore, you're a fuck.
Oh,
You are.
Libya! Did you see what's going on in Libya?
Yeah.
That was fucking
They're
sad.
selling off people.
Have you seen it?
No.
As slaves.
Johnny, oh my god,
Dude, get on it. They're selling off people as
dude,
slaves, dude.
Libya's slaves. It became. Hang on, I've got this, man. This is fucked.
Yeah.
I can't
Dude,
believe
full selling people. Like, they're just buying people and selling.
Libya.
Well, that's always been in the Middle East, right?
No, this is
No,
Libya,
no, no,
dude.
no,
This is
no,
in
no,
Africa.
no, no, no.
Oh, sorry, Libya.
Sort of like, in the...
In the sort of region, but
Well, Libya's. Where is Libya? Libya is.
No, African.
It's Northern Africa.
Yeah.
Middle border Middle East. Yeah.
near Egypt.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, clickbait, news.com, we'll just go to their article, it's quick and easy. Footage released by CNN shows men being sold at an auction in Libya.
Auction,
The
dude.
footage shows an auctioneer standing in front of a group of young men shouting, "Big strong boys for farm work, 400, 700, 800. CNN travelled to Libya to verify the authenticity of the footage. There, they secretly filmed an auction outside the Libyan capital of Tripoli.
Wow.
Yeah.
Triple.
That reminds me
Ironic.
of
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag. How you find little stalls where there's people selling slaves.
Yeah, listen
Exactly
to
the
this.
same stuff.
Referred to as merchandise, the men being sold into slavery were migrants and refugees. 12 Nigerian men were sold at the auction. Does anyone need a digger? This is a digger, a big strong man who'll dig, one salesman said. Within minutes, it is all over and the men, utterly resigned to their fate, are being handed over to their new masters.
This is why people risk their life to try and get out of the place.
Yeah. Dude, dreadful sanitary conditions, food offered only once per day. Some migrants who couldn't pay were reportedly killed or left to starve to death. Crackdown on people smuggling by the Libyan Coast Guard has led to an oversupply of refugee passengers expecting to be smuggled by boat into Europe. And instead...
Sold off.
Yeah, they get sold off. That's it.
They get fed hope, and then it's like, well, actually, we're selling you to, you're going to be working 20 hours a day.
And you're not going to get paid. And you get one meal a day. And
your meal consists of like bread and probably with maggots in porridge or whatever. And you're going to have to put up or shit.
Dude, migrants that become slaves
You have no choice.
and are rescued are generally forced to return home empty-handed. So it's like, all right, we pulled you out of the slave pit.
But you're
go
going
fend for
back.
yourself again.
Yeah. Told the story of a man named Victor who left Nigeria for Libya intending to travel to Europe for a better life. Having been sold into slavery in Libya, he was released after his family paid a ransom. He was then held by the Libyan authorities prior to his relocation back to Nigeria. I'm not happy. I got back and start back from square one. It's very painful.
Like that Ross Kemp fucking thing I watched, the documentary on the people fleeing. The women fleeing because they were getting sold as fucking sex workers. Like sold as sex slaves.
Fucked up. Fucked up, man.
Dude, this is fucked.
Hey, dude.
Nah, like, legit.
But this happens in a lot of countries, like, but we don't even hear about it.
No.
Nah.
It's like women getting sold, like Johnny said, for sex slavery.
You'd interview them, they've got tears in their eyes. They're going to sell me as a sex slave, I need to leave. Like, I left my family, I'm probably...
Yeah. I've got a book on human, on sex trafficking in predominantly Southeast Asia and South Asia. So it's all about India, Thailand. Yeah. There really wasn't much, they mulch over the same sort of shit a lot. I can't remember where I bought it. Maybe I bought it when I was overseas, or I just bought it before I went overseas. But it's a lot of the same fucking info mulched over. But the sex trade, sex trafficking, and slavery generally is a thriving fucking business, man. They're making money. It's not the powers that be. It's just literally a legitimate market.
Yeah.
And there'll
always be a market.
And there'll always be there because people still need their fucking farms dug up and all that sort of shit. Like Zimbabwe, man. Have you been following what's happening in Zimbabwe?
With Robert Mugabe.
Oh, yeah.
They sacked him.
After his 20-year reign.
Yeah. They swore in the new president, fucking the crocodile, who's like even more ruthless and notorious than he was. Like, look at him just roll his eyes.
Crocodile.
Yeah. But like, because I've got a couple Zimbabwean friends, they've all been keeping me up to date, like with what they're hearing from their families and stuff.
Like the real deal.
Yeah. Someone got caught with like 800 million US trying to leave the country. Like, just one random dude had like literally like $500 million worth of like US currency on him trying to leave. Meanwhile, the country's like dying. Like, stupid shit. And there's a lot of the stuff, like, but after South Africa, Zimbabwe has the most white residents and that own a lot of the population and the wealth. Like, there's a lot of the population's wealth and a lot of the farms. So a lot of, especially in the African countries, a lot of the wealth isn't evenly distributed to the point where colonialists still fucking maintain land rights and deeds to shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, one of my mates sent me a whole listing of Zimbabwe, like one dude. She goes, look at this. This is what one guy had. Property on property on property on property, just farmsteads and acres of just like Like, dude, how did this cunt acquire all this shit? You know what I mean? The millionaires of the world didn't have any of this sort of shit. You know what I mean?
It all comes down to greed.
Yeah, man. And it just keeps going. But like you see it in Assassin's Creed Origins, you see it in the history before that, you see it now. That's not going to change. And as a species, we're just going to keep evolving to the point where we get wiped out by something that we can't control, and then we'll just get repopulated, and then the cycle of the planet will just keep going, and we're back to square one again.
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe that theory. Like, it actually makes sense. We'll keep going until something from, like, you know, like an asteroid or some shit, or our own demise, and that'll be the end of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to get dark, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like, I reckon that's entirely possible.
So you're saying there's been extinction events that have just started everything?
Well, we've seen them in history anyway. Like, what wiped out the dinosaurs?
Dude, Graham Hancock goes into, like, a couple of them have happened over history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking dinosaurs got wiped out by, we determined now by media. And we didn't know what that... Our entire childhood, everyone used to say no one knows what happened to the dinosaurs. Well, we know now. And who says it can't happen tomorrow? We're all fucking gone.
And who says there weren't humans around with those dinosaurs?
But that's the thing. They keep saying no, yes, and then, like, you know, creationists believe that we lived in harmony with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm sure that fucking thing would have eaten you, man.
Yeah.
Come here, Rexy. Good boy.
I've got a pet, I'm taking my pet Rex for a walk.
Speaking of pets, I've got to say, greyhounds. Greyhounds would have to be one of the dumbest animals that I've ever come across.
They're fucking lazy.
So dumb.
Why?
Bowie out of Greyhound is so dumb, dude.
Are you sure it's just like... Cause
Is he a good dog, though?
It's a stoner environment.
He's a good boy, I love him. Like, but he's just a big dopey idiot, like a big galoot. That's what I call him. Dude, he is so dumb. Like, he comes clambering towards you, his legs are like flailing out the side, like he's almost slipping over.
He's excited to see you.
He's almost breaking his legs like out the side because he keeps slipping. Like, and he's just.
I've seen the tile floor.
It's like he's just in another world. Like,
Was he a rescue dog?
Oh yeah. My sister bought him as a rescue dog.
Yeah, as in like
Yeah, or maybe it was traumatized.
Yeah, maybe, but fuck.
And maybe because you guys have showed him love, he's just gone all puppy again, like a puppy.
I don't know.
Well, what does he do? How's he a dumb dog?
He just doesn't seem like he's there with you. Like my dog Spunky, he'll look at you and
But that dog's a cunt.
Your dog's a cunt,
His expression has 1,000. Dude, like Spunky's expression has 1,000 words in it. Like Bowie doesn't even fucking make eye contact with you. He's just looking at the clouds with his tongue out, like, oh.
He's probably gone freedom. I finally found a family that loves me.
Maybe.
Could be, man. It could be a mental thing.
Dude, Spunky owns the house, man. That's
his name's on the deed.
The title deed. These are my subordinates.
Sir Spunker.
Right, Jay? You know?
Spunky will allow the kids to live in the house until the day of
The dog's name is on the title.
Dude, Bowie has this bed, right? And it's big enough for a greyhound, so it's a big bed. And whenever he leaves
Johnny sleeps in it.
Whenever he leaves it, Spunky jumps and sits in the middle of it, so Bowie can't get back on there.
What a cunt, man.
And he just looks at him.
Jealousy.
And Bowie, like, he's a big idiot, so he just, like, starts crying, like, doing laps of it, crying, like, and Spunky's just sitting there just staring, like, don't come near me, motherfucker.
What a cunt.
I know.
Seriously, your dog is a prick,
What
man.
an arsehole.
What an arsehole of a dog.
But I think Spunky takes advantage of that dumbness. Like, he just, like, oh, he's so dumb.
Does he eat his food and shit?
Yeah, if he eats his food, that's where it's got to stop.
They eat each other's food.
That's right, then. As long
Bowie's
as
is, like, up on a thing.
Yeah.
For a right height, so he can put his mouth straight in.
Yeah, but I can see Spunky.
Greyhounds, dude, they're so awkward. You can't even sit down. Like, you can't even teach it to sit. You can't teach it to sit because it doesn't know how to.
What do you mean?
Like,
It's a race dog, dude. How is it going to sit?
Yeah, like, it's got to slowly, like, get down, like a camel. It's like a camel.
Yeah,
It has to-
it's long legs, dude. It's got...
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just this big galoot.
It's a Spunky with, like, you know, half a
legs.
freaking...
Tim Tam legs?
Yeah.
2-inch little legs.
Like Tim Sims?
Literally.
Yeah, man.
Straight around like he owns a joint.
Oh, how old's the greyhound?
Like 5.
Okay, so
if he's
35.
He's had 5 years of different life, so he's getting used to... How long you guys had him
You
for
can't
now?
teach an old dog new tricks, isn't that the saying? What do you expect him to do?
I don't
Fucking
believe that.
taxes?
How long have you had him for? A few months?
It's a cigar.
One of those rollers?
Sure, what we got here, see? Got a differential, see?
You're going to claim back 10 7.
So apparently Johnny's greyhound is dumb as dog shit.
Not apparently, it is.
Well, how long have you had it, you said?
Probably about 2 years now.
You know what I was going to say to you? I was going to get you to look him up. I found another shyster. Remember when we were talking about that African dude that, like, convinced a major
Oh,
country.
yeah, the bank.
The bank, yeah, he convinced a major country to purchase like a fake airport or whatever.
Yeah. What a
I
mad dog.
found another guy, man. I don't know if this is legit because I haven't confirmed it. Right? His name is Stephen Russell.
Have a look.
Yeah?
Yeah. Stephen PH.
No, Steven. Yeah.
Ooh, V. Never trust a V, Stephen.
Why?
Just can't.
Why?
I just made that up.
Yeah.
American con artist.
Do you want me to give you the skinny of what this guy did?
Give me the skinny.
This is how this is how ambitious some people are, right? We try and hide like a surprise birthday from someone, and it falls to shit. Yeah,
Every time.
Yeah, it doesn't work, right? Get this. This is what this guy did: escape from prison by using laxatives to fake the symptoms of AIDS. He then called the prison.
Wow.
Dude, he called the prison posing as a doctor, asking for prisoners interested in experimental treatment, and volunteered. So he called as a doctor and then volunteered for these fake treatments. Once out of Texas, he sent a death certificate to the prison stating that he died.
Wow.
Dude, I make a fake declaration on my tax and they're coming down on me like I fucking...
I've got another one for you. This is him. On March 20th, 1998, Russell posed as a millionaire from Virginia in an attempt to legitimize a $75,000 loan from Nations Bank in Dallas. When bank officials became suspicious and alerted the police, Russell feigned a heart attack and was transported to the hospital. Russell was placed on security watch, but then he started to impersonate an FBI agent and called the hospital on his cell phone to tell them he could be released.
Whoa.
This guy fucking had some...
Dude, how did you get away with that? But think about it.
His maximum sentence date is 2140, the year 2140.
Dude, the heart attack. I've informed the police. Oh, my chest. With the hand up to the phone.
And then while he was in hospital, he got out of bed and impersonated an FBI agent. And he got them to release him.
Like, yeah, he's free to go. And then, like, quickly hides the phone, gets back in bed. All right, Mr. Russell, you're free to go. Well, I told you. So he walks out.
I'll be out of here in an hour.
Dude.
What a funny cunt. Seriously. That's awesome. I respect that.
I thought about it.
That's respect.
Imagine being in prison, faking the symptoms for AIDS, and then just happen to get a phone call from, like, you know, like the prison guards are like, Russell in 107 is like, you know, pretty sick. And then just, hang on, the phone's ringing. Hello? Experimental drug, you say? Treating AIDS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Russell, your opportunity's come.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Goes back to the voiceover.
Yeah.
Seriously. And then he gets out.
So would like to get him released, please.
He gets out. And then
And when he's in hospital, faking to be FBI, he's obviously had to get some clothes from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like stole a suit or something.
Dude, and while he's being transferred, he manages to phone in, he sends in a death certificate. How does he forge a death certificate?
Just to really just put
they
the
made a movie
cherry on
about
top.
it. I Love You, Philip Morris.
Really?
In 2009.
Oh, that's with Ewan McGregor and
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey.
I haven't seen it.
That's an... Man, there you go. It's a movie about him. I Love You, Philip Morris.
Who's Philip Morris? Isn't that a cigarette company?
Yeah. But maybe that was one of his names.
Is that a gay guy? I watched it.
What's it about? Like literally that story?
Yeah, it's like Ewan
How
McGregor.
do you not remember it?
I didn't know it was about some shyster. The only thing I got from it was he was gay.
So a film about his life and crimes was produced in 2009.
I'm chalking up his CV, like all these escapes. Well, your CV he's gay.
And Ewan
He was
McGregor
gay.
played his boyfriend.
That's it. That's the end of his story. He's gay.
I had no idea that was a shyster movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was about some like quirky gayness, gaybo. I didn't mean to say gaybo, sorry.
No, I'm just saying.
He was there waiting for you like this.
Is that him?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So is he serving like... So what was he actually in prison for?
For escaping out of prison multiple times.
So he was in prison for escaping out of prison.
Yeah. What was the initial
What were the initial charges that got him to prison?
Impersonating people.
Yeah, and
Impersonating a prison guard.
fraud. And yeah, impersonating.
Just the
He had
umbrella of fraud.
HIV AIDS and wasn't likely to survive much longer. Shit, man. This guy...
So he had AIDS. He impersonated and embezzled in fraud sort of charges, and then he just kept escaping from prison.
It was
What a lie.
Russell is
glad
now
I didn't live his
serving a
life.
144-year sentence, 45 years for embezzlement, 99 for 2 escapes.
Wonder who he's going to impersonate next to get out.
But then, here we go. There we go again with the contrast. This guy's got like 3,000 life sentences strapped to him because he left prison, right? Meanwhile, cunts kill people. Dude, that fucking rapist from, where's he from? That kid. Brock fucking, what was his name?
Oh, yeah.
Brock Turner or whatever?
Yeah, he got, released. Nothing.
They're appealing his conviction.
He'll get released.
They're appealing his conviction on the grounds that they're putting...
It was okay.
they're putting the woman's state of intoxicity, or whatever, if that's the right word.
Intoxication, yeah.
Yeah. They're putting that in question, like she was clearly smashed. It's like, what's that got to do with anything? You raped her. But they're using that, like, to say it's not even a crime.
And then money talks.
Yeah.
And he'll get off, and he'll go along with his life.
He raped the woman beyond, and she was out of her brains.
Because she was out of her brains, it's
She
all
was
good.
smashed. He fucking dragged her behind a dumpster and raped a woman. And now they're appealing the conviction. Like
She was
it's not
blasted.
even a crime.
It's all right.
Yeah,
She
like
wanted
it's not
it.
even a crime.
She was hammered. She
How
wanted
can
it.
that even get taken to court? Why waste taxpayers' money, time? Why would you even think about processing that? We're like, listen, fuckhead, go back to your cell.
They don't have that backbone anymore. They just fucking cave to fucking everyone.
No, but then this guy, whose crime was fraud, has got like 80 life sentences just strapped to his name. Like, there, he's never getting out.
Fuck him.
No, like literally. But this fucking rapist has got the grounds to appeal. Are you kidding? Like,
I love his mugshot, man.
oh, he looks like such a dude. He looks like he's grabbing soap every fucking day, man. He would get turned into a fucking pincushion.
He'll be holding some outturned pockets for sure.
Oh, was that Prison Break?
Teddy,
I never watched that show, man. Never.
come here and hold my pocket, boy.
You
I look
referenced
after you.
it a bit. I seriously have never fucking
Prison Break season 1. Can't beat it. One of my number one.
Dude, it was fucking Chopper Reed that laughed about that show. He's like, who in their right mind would get their entire body tatted with like an elaborate escape plan? If you've got the time and money to
Michael
sit through
Schofield, that's who.
you've got the time and
Mastermind
money
engineer.
to sit there
Dimitri.
and get tatted like a fuckwit and then commit a crime to get into prison to break someone out. Just break someone out. Like, use the time and money to just break someone out.
So he's out of jail.
Brock Turner?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he's out of jail. He got sentenced to 6 months, 3 years,
rape.
3 years probation, and Turner must register as a sex offender for the rest of his life and participate in sex offender rehabilitation program.
But he's walking the streets.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it.
seriously.
People versus Turner.
Yeah.
Too bad if he goes, fuck it, I'm going to do it again.
I was just going to say, dude, what's the date today? 6th. Christmas is just around the fucking corner.
Jingle balls.
I am the Grinch.
Have you started
I am
seeing
the-
the influence?
I'm
We've got to mention it because we're in the lead up.
I'm the Grinch.
Are you?
Yeah.
For some reason...
I don't like Christmas.
I hate Christmas, dude, but for some reason, the last, 4 days at work...
They really went all out at work, didn't they?
they're fucked.
Santa riding the reindeer on the
they've got the
roof.
Santa set up at the top of the fucking stairwell.
The little
Meanwhile, we
colourful
can't get earplugs. I asked for earplugs to be fucking refilled.
Hey, sir, the earplug container's empty again.
The dispenser's
Yeah,
empty.
shut up.
And I can't get in here, but they've spent 4 hours doing the Santa setup. Yeah?
That would have cost a bunch.
Oh, it wouldn't be cheap. But I saw it, and I started going around just going, I'm dreaming of a white
I was singing that song the other day too.
Christmas. I've
Full
been
swooner
walking around.
style.
Yeah, I just keep saying it over and over again. I'm like, why? I
He's
hate
in a
fucking
corn, man.
Christmas.
Jingle balls.
I was kind of surprised when they did it because of like all the equality with different religious backgrounds and whatnot.
Well, that's
Because we have a lot. It's like multicultural
You know
big time
what
in our
shits
work.
me?
So I'm thinking like I'm
all
surprised they
these
did that.
fucking cunts that come out and say there's no reason why we need to adhere to halal, la la la, if it's a free religious country and we don't need to do that sort of shit. Why do we celebrate? Why do we have Christmas as a public holiday? No, legitimately. Why do we have Christmas as a public holiday if these idiots are pushing out we shouldn't have to tolerate other like religious freedoms just because? Then why do we have Christmas as a public holiday or Easter as a public holiday?
The cunts can just get pissed.
Because
And we can make a whole lot of money.
it's still a religious holiday. Like, pick. You can't have one or the other. I don't know, man. But,
Did you guys see the Milo Yiannopoulos?
oh, yeah, he's fucked.
Do you know what's funny? I don't know, do you remember me telling you I used to listen to his podcast? Like,
Yeah.
2 years ago I probably was listening to him.
Johnny
And then-
Des used to talk about him.
And then I stopped listening because I was just over, like, basically the way I think about him is he's just like an attention whore and he just I don't even believe he's gay, dude. I've heard him on some interviews.
Dude, he
where
married his boyfriend.
He doesn't speak with a gay, like...
Oh, like the
tone to his
feminine
voice.
overtone.
And then other programs I've heard him on, he's like full exuberant, like raging to the
Just
fucking...
he ramps it up when he wants to.
He's against gay marriage, right?
Yeah.
But apparently he married his boyfriend, but no one knows who this person is.
Is it apparently a black guy?
It wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't gay. I think he's only saying he's gay so he can get away with saying the horrible shit that he says.
You reckon?
Okay, well, what are his claims?
Like, I'm not saying that's what it is. But I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise you, yeah.
What are his actual claims?
Well, he's just like a super right-wing dude to get rid of the fucking immigrants. Like, we don't want them, blah, blah, blah.
But his name is clearly a Greek fucking name, so
But he's not even
had to migrate
but
to
he's
America.
not even full Greek. His dad is half Greek, half Irish.
Is it? I don't remember.
And his last name is not even his real last name.
What do you mean?
So I didn't get
hang
it.
on, I'll do it. I got it. I remember Johnny Des talking about it a year or two ago. I think we just started the podcast up, actually, because we were playing basketball at our old primary school, and he was talking about him.
He got my attention I heard him on Joe Rogan podcast first, so I just got his podcast because I thought he was like entertaining, like it was just like this guy's a joke.
Yeah.
But then I just got it, like I gave up on it after a while. I was like, I was getting old.
This guy's our age, right? He's a British political commentator, publisher, media personality, blogger, associated politically with the alt-right.
Writes for technology.
Describes himself as a cultural libertarian. He's a critic of feminism, Islam, social justice, political correctness, blah, 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 blah. Though often described as a member of the alt-right, he rejects this label, stating that there are many points of difference between him and the alt-right movement. In October 2017, leaked emails revealed that Yiannopoulos had repeatedly solicited neo-Nazi and white supremacist figures on the alt-right for feedback and story ideas in his work. That's fucked. He was born and raised in Kent after being expelled from like a grammar school, studied at the Uni of Manchester, failed to gain a degree, began working journalism, and then, started fucking, basically relocated to the United States, became a vocal supporter of Donald Trump, permanently banned from Twitter.
It was all just like shock value shit that he said, dude.
He's
like,
a troll. People saying he's just a troll.
Yeah, just a troll.
He's the real trollman.
Yeah, he's a troll.
Milo Trollman.
Trollman Yiannopoulos.
But like I heard about it on the radio that he was here, and because I don't pay attention to him anymore, I was like, oh shit, Milo, like, and people were paying $1,000 a ticket.
Dude, there was riots outside the fucking venue.
Yeah, but people were paying $1,000 a ticket to go see
I
him.
wouldn't pay $1,000 a ticket.
And then we had the riots outside the building, right?
Yeah, in Footscray, in Kensington.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was born Milo Hanrahan.
Yeah.
And then, his father is half Greek, half Irish. His mother is British of Jewish descent. Blah, blah, blah. Raised by his mother and his second husband. Didn't have a good relationship with his stepdad. How the fuck did he get his surname?
I don't know how he got that last surname.
He's also said he wasn't born gay. Like, he goes, definitely it was like shit in my life that just made me gay. Like, he goes, and he reckons all gays that fall under the same thing. He's like, no one's actually
practicing
gay.
Roman Catholic, Yiannopoulos states that his maternal grandmother was Jewish, which puts him at odds with neo-Nazi adherents in the alt-right. Married his long-term African-American boyfriend in Hawaii.
His name was John. Maybe it's you.
Yeah. Clearly another man in another country.
Well, he was here over the weekend.
I would have had to have been doing
Conjugal visits.
Dude, I would have had to have done blackface.
Well, who says he's really black?
Dude, how the fuck did he get that surname, though? That's what I'm confused about.
Yeah.
Yiannopoulos privilege grant, blah, blah,
Maybe it's
blah.
from his dad's mother or, like...
But do you know what got me thinking, right? So we have these riots at the front of the building.
Yeah.
Just like in Charlottesville, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you have some really dumb people with some dumb ideas, right? Marching with their fucking shit. What if everybody on the other side just didn't fucking turn up? There's no riots, there's no violence, right?
What do you mean didn't turn up?
Like the side that's opposing fucking right-wingers,
Yeah.
just don't go.
But they didn't. They did later, like at their own counter fucking protest.
But like the bitch got run over, all that shit in the car. Like if they didn't go,
It was all happening.
just go. We'd be the bigger people. We're smarter than these people. We're not going to fucking go.
Because if you don't turn up, then they just become bigger and bigger.
What's the whole saying? If you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything or something.
Yeah.
If you don't turn up, I don't believe that. They get bigger and bigger.
Dude,
What are they going to do? Just march down the street?
yeah, but they're raising awareness. It's a point to show that the people are opposing their stupid opinion. Because if you don't turn up, it's like if you don't turn up to the voting, then Pauline Hanson will just get bigger and bigger. If I don't turn up to vote against Pauline Hanson will get more votes and get in. That was the whole point. Like that's
But
why
every year the same shit happens, and there's just these riots with pepper
That's not every
spray.
year, dude. We haven't seen things like Charlottesville in years. Not to that degree, and not.
But there's always the Australian ones we hear about. You know, clashing in the streets, fucking tear
When
gas.
was the last time you saw it?
Not that long ago, out the front of that fucking.
Yeah, but that was one, man. Like, we're talking about in greater numbers.
And I was thinking, same as the Westboro Church, like those cunts that stand on the side of the road.
Yeah.
That's just the whole level of...
It's just this constant hate thing. Just don't go. Just fucking ignore them. And then they'll eventually not get attention.
They go full, like...
But that's the thing. They don't get ignored, dude. They get bigger and bigger, and they get bigger followings.
They get bigger and bigger when people go there because they've fucking made the world stage now. I know about them. I've watched documentaries on them.
But they'll make the world stage either way.
What, if they're just
but that's the thing. That's how Trump won the fucking election. No one thought Trump would win, but then the silent majority that was harbouring all this resentment, they still exist. They just...
All right, let's just
turn up.
take the Milo fucking thing, for instance, right? People are going to go regardless. There are people like that, right?
Yeah.
So if these other people didn't turn up, the people that are against them, there wouldn't have been all these fights and brawls. They would have just gone and done...
No, they'd just have centre stage and be able to do whatever they want.
See, if
listen to the show.
If these lefties were smart, they would have bought a ticket, gone in there, and rioted in there. Why ride outside for? Go in there and do it to his face.
If you stand for nothing, if you don't stand up for something, you stand for nothing. That's the old saying, dude. Like, you can't, your problems will not go away on a social level or a political level.
I know what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying.
Dude, I think it fuels them.
Yeah,
I think it gives them fuel.
Yeah.
But,
because if they're going to be marching in the street and there's no one there to...
Okay, but do you know what the
to be
difference
like,
is,
this
dude?
is boring.
Johnny, the difference is these guys, whether they're leftists, right-wingers, neo-Nazis, whatever, they don't need fuel to get bigger.
Already got that hate, man.
They're already ambitious enough to set up the website, set up the riot, set up the march, set up the fucking political party. They've already got that ambition, dude. They won't get fueled by people opposing them. They'll grow whether they like it or not. No one opposed neo-Nazism in Germany, 1928, as in to stand up against it, but fucking Nazism grew because the ambition was there. By not turning up, being apathetic or lazy doesn't just dissolve the fact. People are still going to be ambitious, dude. I don't buy drugs from a guy in a corner, but the drug dealer's still going to be there whether I like it or not. It's until I stand up and say, I don't want drug dealers in my corner when something might get done about it. Does that make sense?
It does, but it doesn't to me as well. Like,
I can understand what you're saying.
I feel like if no one turned up, then there wouldn't be a big riot. There wouldn't be fights.
Yeah, there might not be a riot, but the right-wing voice won't just disappear. As in, oh, well, no one turned up to cause a fight, so then they'll just go away. Like, no. They'll still be there. They'll still be on the ballot. They'll still be supporters.
I think they'll always be there, like, dumb people. But I think just, like, going there and fighting with them...
You'll avoid a fight. You'll avoid a violent protest.
Like, when you're going there to stand up to them, there's going to be a riot and a fight. Like, you're not going there knowing that you're going to, like, change their mind.
Smash. No, but it's not about changing their mind. It's about being a voice and standing up against something you don't agree with. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree that if two parties didn't come to the pinpoint, there wouldn't be violence to that degree. But at the same time, they've got violent propaganda as their fucking motif. Then it's like apathy won't just let them dissolve and it'll just go away and it just won't grow. It's like, no, dude, they don't need the fuel of violence to get bigger. They will get bigger regardless. You need people to stand up to people in order to stop a movement, not to stamp it out. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. But I don't see it as a point of apathy.
All I'm saying is if there weren't fucking people there to clash with them, there'd be no violence. Like, they're causing violence by going there. You are going there knowing that there's going to be violence.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you just leave them be, there'll be violence regardless, dude. Like, how many times do you see these fucking right nationalists, whatever? Dude, Sam Dastyari got fucking... Oh, yeah. Sam Dastyari's out of the Senate because of other... contributions to whatever. Yeah, but dude, he was in a pub trying to have a drink and he got fucking attacked by those...
Alt-right.
What were they called?
Australian Front, something?
Yeah, Australian Front, or whatever bullshit it was, yeah? But they would have turned into something violent immediately. And Dastyari was by himself. He had one mate he was having a drink with. And they went there trying to fucking start him and start a fight. You know what I mean? And Sam Dastyari's like a tiny, meek little Iranian immigrant. He wasn't even on a protest line. It wasn't in anything. He was by himself in a pub. And he got fucking picked out.
Outside of work.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, dude, the threat of violence is always going to be there.
But, the thing is, those people are such a small minority.
They're not. Like, they're a minority, but they're growing
in numbers.
Pauline Hanson's in the fucking Senate. She was a no-hoper. We look at Pauline Hanson like, you're fucked.
Yeah, but I mean, she's nowhere near winning. She's not going to win. And, whenever this shit happens with Sam Dastyari or... they're bagged out on national TV and radio. No one's with them. You know what I mean?
But they're still people...
they're made as to be a joke by the people
they are.
in media.
But slowly, it's like Trump. We look at Trump and he's a fucking joke. But then Trump won. And then you have people like in Charlottesville.
Like we said, he fucking won.
Yeah, exactly. And then people in Charlottesville come out protesting their white fucking heritage or whatever. And it's like, you cunts are fucked. You're doing what people did in the 50s with fucking clans.
I agree, but I think that protesting there and going to start a fight with them doesn't help the situation. I don't think that's going to make them stop and want to stop.
Yeah, I know, but you will never change either side's mind. That's it. It is what it's going to be. Like, we can't...
Yeah, so why clash with them on the street?
Because you need to put your voice forward. Like, people are willing to put their voices forward to protest whatever it is they're fucking against, dude. Otherwise, you're going to sit there until they just start dominating everything and it just takes over. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Apathy won't just stop a movement. Like, does that make sense? Like, just by not going.
I don't think it'll stop it, but it'll just take a lot of heat out of it.
No, do you know what?
It's like,
because then they'll be like,
what are they going to do? Like, honestly, like,
this is what they're going to do.
Charlottesville, they're on the street. There's no one there to fight them. So they're going to keep chanting and then go home.
No, they're not just going to go chanting.
But they'll get media coverage.
They'll still get their media coverage, but with no one opposing them, they'll just get bigger and bigger.
And they'll say, well, no one's opposing us, so we're going to just steamroll ahead.
But that's how something takes over, dude, because people just sat back and let it happen.
Dude, Nazi Germany, man.
Yeah.
That's just how it happened. No one opposed it.
No one opposed them.
And it became this fucking war machine, man.
Yeah.
That's just the way
Adolf Hitler wasn't just handed a fucking a presidential suite and said, all right, dude, you're now in power. Dude, he grew and grew.
His propaganda and everything.
They started with leaflets in bars and taverns, and then it just grew and grew and grew.
And no one opposed, and he became a war machine.
No one brought up another ideology. They just went along with it. Like,
they're like, well, this Adolf might have some good ideas.
Like, if you believe in Santa Claus and no one says different, you're just going to keep believing in Santa Claus.
And he's like, what do you mean?
No, I'm serious, dude. I'm serious. Yeah. If you don't get told another way, then you're just going to go the way that you've been told.
Because you don't know any different.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
So you're saying the only thing that's going to stop these people from growing is protesters going there and clashing with them?
It's called anti-protesters, dude, because people need to step up and say, you cunts are fucked, you're wrong.
Yeah, but for the sake of, like, people getting run over and people getting fucking bashed and...
But that's also the choice of the protester.
That's a choice of the protester, and it's a choice of the person running someone over. That cunt that ran people over, he needs to be in prison for the rest of his fucking life, right? But it fucks up when people like Trump say there were fine people on both sides of the argument. Dude, you're talking about race segregation and fucking superiority. One side was saying that we're fucking all equal, no one deserves to live in shit, and the other side saying we're better than everyone, we deserve to be fucking better. If you're saying that there are fine people in both sides of the argument, and one of the argument is white power and fucking superiority, you're fucked as an individual, and that's a sticking point with Trump. Like, that's why people are losing.
Dude, I agree with that, and I think the proper way to go about it would be to get like some sort of law enforcement in, like not just people go and start a fight on the street.
But that's what's called the right to free speech, dude, and the right to protest.
But then where does it end? If you let them do it, then it's going to keep going.
It ends when fucking.
And it's been happening for.
It ends when enough people make enough of a noise to force a hand to be played. Yeah, to be dealt. But you can't just sit here and
But everyone's against them. Everybody is against them, dude. Everyone.
If you sat in your house and you just saw cunts outside in Klansman outfits walking past, screaming white power, what are you going to do?
Join in. Nah,
you don't want
You're organising the luncheon.
You don't want to be.
I'd probably close the blinds.
Hot dogs in blankets and.
Yeah, you close the blinds. But if no one's out there telling them to fuck off, the next weekend, the crowd's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger until they're telling you to get the fuck out of your house. Does that make sense?
Shh, get the fuck off my lawn!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you can either sit there and watch a parade go by until it becomes so big that you're part of it, whether you like it or not, or you fucking...
Yeah, but it's not going to get to that point in this day and age. With all the media and shit, they can't just keep growing, like, and just take over.
You know what, mate? You remember how you were saying how the guy at work said that if we don't stop gay marriage, we're going to live in a Muslim caliphate? You remember? Like, we're going to be living in a Muslim society? Like, dude, world domination, and as a society, the direction of world, like, politics and has varied greatly over, like, thousands of years. At one point, we did live under the Ottoman occupancy, and the Muslim caliphate was, like, the biggest powerhouse. Then the Roman Empire was massive, and then the Greek Empire was massive. It's fucking varied through, like, you know, that's just history. You know, different powers, different mindsets, blah, blah, blah. We're coming into a point in time now where we're sort of being more liberal and more about equality, and we're understanding that we shouldn't be dominated by religion and social standings and like, do you know what I mean? Because that's just our mindset. But for the last 3,000 years, starting at Assassin's Creed Origins, there were fucking social classes, and religion ruled the fucking roost. We're only coming into a point now. And dude, these things take hundreds of years to change hands. Like, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But everyone's trying to compress everything and get everything up to date quick. And they seem like the guy, at work that said, we're going to be living in a Muslim rule. Like, Western society has lived under a Muslim rule before. And that's just society. And Christianity took it back through the Inquisition and the Crusades and all that sort of shit. They were violent fucking things in the name of religion, but because it was your religion and not someone else's, that's the only reason why you're not disagreeing with it. If you were a Muslim, if your family's history was Muslim all the way through the sands of time, you wouldn't have a problem with Islam getting bigger because you're part of that fucking club. Does that make sense? Mm. And now, like, this guy's like, we're going to be living in a Muslim rule. We're not going to be living in a Muslim rule tomorrow. And if we are, it could happen in 50 years, could happen in 100 years. Never going to bother anything to do with him or affect his immediate lifestyle. But people are just worried, are so fucking self-involved, they're so selfish now that they're thinking that it's only going to affect them in the short term. Like, oh my God, I'm going to wake up and my wife's going to have to wear a burqa and I'm going to have to go to a fucking mosque. Like, you're fucking, why? Because of gay marriage being put through Australia, now we're going to be living in a Muslim rule? What's that got to do with anything? Because the gay marriage is going to help the decline of Western civilization because birth rates are going to fall out of the sky. No, people are going to have less babies because it's more expensive to have fucking kids. Like, people always say to me, when are you going to have a kid? Because I can't afford to feed myself right now. That's probably the best reason why I'm not having a kid.
Come on, Tim.
No, I'm just saying.
Time.
I don't have a fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, that's keeping me in check, not because of the Muslim rule or the gay marriage. That's no reason why I haven't fucking gotten anyone pregnant yet. But that's what I'm saying. People are too self-involved and too fucking coddled off and bundled up. And they're thinking short-term, me. It's like, dude, the world is a lot fucking bigger than what you think it is, man. Do you know what I mean? And you look through the waves of fucking history, the powers and the dominating powers have always fucking changed hands over centuries. How Joan of Arc was part of what? How many year war was it?
100-year war.
Was it the 100-year war? Yeah, the war lasted 100 years.
That's a fucking long war, man.
That's a long war, dude.
But think about this. We're getting there. The Afghan war started in 2001.
Yeah.
It's 16
years. There's been a military presence in Afghanistan for over 16 years.
That's a long time.
Dude, if you had a kid that year, if a soldier went to Afghanistan in 2001, his kid would be a teenager right now.
And thinking, shit, he's still
he's grown up knowing that his dad has been fighting in fucking Afghanistan for a war that makes no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm. Oil.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gaza, dude, Israel, right now. Have you seen what Trump said about Israel? He's on the brink of declaring that Israel is the capital of Jerusalem. Like they own.
Who the fuck is he?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
And Turkey has come out saying if fucking Trump does that, we're pulling out any support we have in that situation. We're going to the fucking Palestinians, and you're all fucked. Like, you're all fucked. Every president has tiptoed around that and said, look,
if there's one to do it, it'll be him.
It'll be Trump that says, no, Israel's ahead of Jerusalem. You're fucked, dude.
I spoke to Jesus. And
I spoke to Jesus.
And he informed me that Israel...
Good people.
They do good stuff.
Yeah. They do good stuff. He's a fine man. He's a good man. Look. We're building a wall. See what I mean, dude? But that's what I'm saying, the lunacy. Like, how the fuck did Trump get into power? Because of, like, people just sitting back and not freaking out until the last minute. And realizing, fuck, like, we're fucked. And there wasn't enough strength to run against him. That's the point, dude. Like,
I feel like everyone nowadays, like, the minority is these right-wing fucking nutjobs, and everyone sees them like that.
Why, man?
Just because you're not opposing them at a protest, I don't think they're just going to start growing in numbers. Like, why? Because people are past that shit now. Like, majority of people.
Dude, that's because you hang out
and you have too much faith in people.
You have too much faith in people because you hang out with too many decent people.
Dude, you watch The Project, and any time that these right-wingers come up...
The Project,
no, but I'm saying, this is like a prime-time show. They get bagged out. Triple M the other day were bagging out the far-right wingers.
Okay, but that's just... Dude, that's The Project,
How many people that are right-wingers...
The Bachelor still gets on TV, and I bag The Bachelor out every 20 seconds. Everyone I know bags The Bachelor out, but The Bachelor is still on TV.
How many people do you know that are right-wingers that don't say nothing?
Yeah. How many dude?
That sit in silence and be like, well,
how often I'll hear someone drop some fucking racist shit on like either Muslims or migrants, and I'll look at them like, you out of your mind, man. Number one, we're working alongside a Muslim. Number two, I'm the product of fucking immigration. But I hear some outright
I am an
racist
immigrant.
shit. Yeah, Nick is an immigrant. I hear outwards
Fuck off,
racist
we're
shit.
full.
Yeah, exactly.
And
He's looking at me. Fuck off, we're
At
full.
that point, I'm at a crossroads. It's like, do I say something or do I just walk away?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll say something just to get I determine what is provoking this.
A lot of the time, it's like just a joke.
A lot of the time, it's ignorance.
It's not hatred.
A lot of the time, it's ignorance. I've heard a lot of people say some outwardly racist shit because they don't fucking know any different or they don't know better. They just hear like a Chinese whisper.
Yeah, or it's a joke and it's just like a dumb thing to say.
No,
but I don't think the types are going to go.
I don't mean out of a
marching.
joke. Like,
it's ignorant.
no, because someone said to me the other day, if I felt someone had made a comment about the racist shit, like as in if an Asian guy at work asked me if I felt offended if someone said, you know, this Greek cunt or this Asian cunt or like this Chinese cunt, because he's Asian and he didn't see a problem with it because he grew up in fucking Rowville and Nana. Back, like, he's around our age, and he grew up in those suburbs when, like, he dealt with fucking bogan racists, you know what I mean? And he said, you know, to me, it's not a big deal, because it's in the context of, I go, well, that's exactly it. I go, it's in the context of what something said. If someone's saying to me, having a square go, calling me a Greek cunt, then I'm going to take offense to it. But if someone just describes me as, oh, that Greek cunt over there, I don't get offended, because that's not all I am. It's just in the context of it. George Carlin had said it, it's the context of these words.
Yeah.
Right? But that's what I'm saying, dude. Even like in our workplace, even like in our groups, how many arguments I've had with people because of sheer ignorance. They don't know what Sikhism is, they don't know what Islam is, they don't know what migration is, and they come up, or like the Safe Schools Act, or like whatever it is. Dude, so many of the Safe Schools, have you seen the Facebook shit come out? People have talked about it all the time. The Safe Schools fucking shit that's gone around, they're saying that the new fucking, because of gay marriage, the Safe Schools Act is teaching kids how to use dildos and fucking all that sort of shit. Like, it's got nothing to do with that. Safe Schools is about teaching equality and understanding that if your classmate is gay, there's nothing wrong with it. But they're making it out. They're sending, like, dude, that senator from Queensland said it. And outright saying, oh, I've seen the Safe Schools Act. It's all about using dildos and sex toys. It's like, got nothing to do with it, you fucking idiot. Like, there are debunkers on the net that have, like, debunked all this shit, but people are believing it as gospel. That's the start of the rhetoric, as in, like, that's the start of one person seeing it, then them telling their friends, and then them telling their friends' friends. All of a sudden, you got 30,000 people that think the Safe Schools Act is about kids using sex toys. It's got nothing to do with fucking sex toys or sex acts. It's about teaching understanding and acceptance. Like, does that make sense? And that's the point. If you don't fucking say something, then you get the mob getting bigger because they're fueled by fucking ignorance and thinking this one-track mind. Dude, that's why this podcast, a lot of people have said to me that what they like about our podcast is the fact that we take a lot of shit that's been up in the air and we fucking tear it apart. We find the fact of it and we come to understandings of it. Like, does that make sense? We say that I've heard that, the most things I've heard about our podcast is that we make sense of a lot of shit that is up in the air that no one knows about. Like the safe schools thing. A lot of people think it's about using fucking sex toys.
It's got nothing to do
because that's what they saw on Facebook, because some fucking retard created it. This is what they're teaching in our schools, and they're making guys wear dresses and la la la. It's like, no, they're not fucking doing that, man. They're just teaching equality and understanding and compassion. And
that if someone is gay, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not...
Fundamentally, that's what it is, man. But people are fucking buying the bullshit, and that's how it is. All I'm saying is, dude, we don't see the majority of, like, right-wingers because we work where we work. And you know what? I fucking have worked alongside a lot of racist fucking rednecks. And I hear this shit, I'm like, yeah, sometimes it's not my place to say it at work. If I was in a pub, maybe it'd be a different story. But, dude, if you go up north to Queensland, fucking heaps of these right-wingers. Enough to the point where Pauline Hanson is in Parliament again. We didn't fucking vote for her here, but she's in the Senate.
All right, well, let's say you are in the pub, right, and you decide to punch this guy in the face. Do you think that's going to change his mind?
I wouldn't punch him in the face.
Well, whatever, start an argument or whatever.
I wouldn't punch him in the face, but if I was in the pub with Sam Destiari and I was sitting in the next seat and these fucking cunts went up to him and started saying all that shit, I'd get up and say, mate, you want to, like, ease up on that shit? I'd say what I had to say right there and then. I'd get security, contact management, and I'd defend myself if it got violent. I wouldn't punch on like, oh, you're fine.
With those kind of people, they're not going to be like, oh, sorry, young lad.
They won't.
Sorry, young lad, we'll leave right now.
But you need to start, you can't just sit there and let a guy get abused just for sitting there and having a different background, because I've been that guy. I've been fucking abused for that shit, man. because I'm literally the product of fucking immigration. I've had to hear that shit my entire life. So many times I'll be out, and like because of my accent and because of either what I'm wearing or whatever, I sound like a fucking bogan half the time, and it's because I grew up in Australia. But a lot of guys sometimes overlook it. Like you see me with a shaved head or whatever, and I'm wearing all my work gear. No one fucking thinks anything of it, and they start saying this racist shit. I'm like, dude, who are you, man? Do you know who I am? Like, dude, I see it because I am in that fucking little demographic, dude. You wouldn't see it because you're not. Like, as in, personally. You might see racist shit if you're out. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying, like...
I just don't think violence is the key.
No, violence isn't the key.
To go stand up and let's have a battle, like, and it happens...
No, it's not about fighting, but it's not about shying away from opposition either. Like, I'm saying, I wouldn't go to a protest looking for a brawl, but I'd go to a protest to fucking voice my opinion and make a stand and say, we're not fucking... I'm not aligning myself with your shit.
We're not gonna take it! No! We're not gonna take it!
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I don't think that I don't think it's going to stop them, dude. They already have that violent mindset. They're set in their ways, and a bunch of people standing there with some signs is going to be like, oh, let's back off, guys.
No, but it's a point of us portraying the message, conveying a message, and them conveying a message. Like, we both need to make our messages heard, our voices heard, because if we don't, then one side will fucking grow, because their ambition's not going to just get quelled because we didn't turn up.
No, like, it'll grow more.
Yeah, there's no one opposing us. Yeah, let's just get bigger. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it's going to work. Dude, I'm telling you, not everyone is apathetic, man. Like, I
just don't see how, like, someone not protesting is going to make them get bigger. I just don't understand that. I just don't see how.
Because they are getting bigger.
No one opposing them.
No one opposing them, dude. That's what happens when no one opposes someone.
Every time there's a rally, there's opposition, and there's always a fight.
Yeah, because people believe enough in it to say, fuck you. What you're doing is fucking ridiculous, man.
So if someone was to tell you they're going to take away sex dolls, right? This is out of interest. And you went to a rally because you want fucking sex dolls. You believe in that sex doll. You have the right to use that doll.
I still want to go to the protest because it's a sex doll.
And what if they took away the sex doll?
Whatever.
Nah, but that's because they're apathetic. You don't care. Yeah. We're talking about life rights here. We're talking about social justice. We're not talking about a sex doll, which is just a choice, like, oh, yeah, whatever. We're talking about political and social beliefs. You don't have strong political beliefs. You don't have social, you don't have that sense of social fucking responsibility, because that's just you. Not everyone does. Like, we talk a lot about politics on this podcast, even though none of us are political activists.
When I see Tele News and I see people crying, pepper dust, head injuries, people on the ground getting stomped, I don't think that's good.
That's what you don't see their cause. You don't see the cause behind it. Like people that die in the name of religion, I think it's ridiculous. To them, it's their livelihood. It's everything they have. Does that make sense? Because you disagree, because you wouldn't do the same, that doesn't make it any less important.
Same thing. People believe in their country. They die for their country. Would you die for your country?
Probably not. I think it's because I don't know what I'm fighting for, really.
Yeah, but then people that join the military, what are they fighting for?
But
all different things.
Then at the same time, having said that, yeah, I mean, we're the products of Greek migrants, right? I mean, Nick and I have both got Greek heritage, yeah? My mum's side, if you go back enough generations, I've mentioned it before, there's a military family there, right? Like a pretty prominent one, right? In Greece, there's a military family. They were part of the uprising against the Ottoman occupancy in, 1821, whatever the fuck it was, right? After 400 years of occupancy.
Like they said, fuck this!
400 years of living under a fucking Ottoman rule, Muslim fucking empire, not being allowed to do shit, right? One Greek turned up and said, you know what, fuck this, we're starting the uprising, let's get fucking organised, and they did it. They overturned it. After 400 years, someone stood up and said, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore.
But
right?
the right-wingers aren't in control. They're just a tiny minority, dude. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying.
They don't have control of everything, and we have to fight against them.
Dude, Trump didn't have control. Now the Republicans control the whole fucking Senate and the House. That's the point. That's the point I'm making, dude. Fucking 200 years ago, whatever, some Greek cunt who didn't have power, wasn't in control, they were fucking living as slaves in occupied lands, turned up and said, fuck this shit, we're not doing this anymore. People died for it.
Yeah, but it's a different situation.
It's a different situation, but it's still a political mindset. The point is...
If the right wing was fucking, ruling shit on street corners with guns and shit, then I'd probably want to fight, stand up against them, but they're just such a small minority.
Yeah, but would you?
And I find...
No, hang on, would you?
If it was the point where I'm, just oppressed and not getting food and shit, then of course I would.
So if they grew to that stage, and what if you would have said, man, maybe I should have...
Maybe I should have done something 20 years ago when people started talking about this shit.
But they're not going to go to that stage.
How do you know that?
Because they just won't. They're just such a small minority.
But look at America, man. Trump's in that fucking...
Everyone laughed when Trump was like, I'm going to run for president.
Everyone laughed like it was a joke. We all laughed.
I thought Trump, that guy's not going to win.
We laughed our heads
And now
off. It's like, shit, the guy's managed to get his Muslim ban going.
Yeah.
That just got cleared 2 days
he's
ago.
building
got his tax ban, got his tax reform
The
in
wall.
now. So his tax reform's in, so all the middle class, again, fucking taxed higher than the upper class, right? That's come in. Finally, they laughed at him for a year, but he finally got the support through. The wall will be next. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude.
But he's only got a limited time in there, and like the majority of people's thinking.
Yeah, but the limited time that he has,
In the
he'll do
year
the
that
most
he's been there-
amount of damage.
In the year that he's been there, and everyone's laughed at him, no, like, they only started...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Everyone laughs at him.
Yeah,
no one's actually like. There's a
look what he's
tiny little
done.
group that follows him.
Okay, but no, it's not a tiny little group that follows him, because that tiny little group got him into power.
America.
Okay, so hang on. A tiny little group, think about it, a tiny little group got him into the presidency of the United States of America.
Well, that's questionable, even if it's all fucking legit anyway.
But it is legit. If the guy's fucking travelling the world as president of the United States, what are they going to do? Turn up in 2 years, say, oh yeah, it's actually bullshit, give us back the last 2 years. Throw him in chains. It doesn't work like that, dude. He's in power. There's only a tiny little group, according to you, right? There's only a tiny little group that follows Pauline Hanson. Pauline Hanson is in the Senate in Australia.
Getting paid.
We're not in the Senate. We've got a tiny little group. We're not in the fucking Senate. We've got no one that voices our opinions. A tiny little group supports Pauline Hanson and the right-wingers. Pauline Hanson is in the Senate. She's making decisions for all of us. That's my point, dude.
She's a long way from power. She'll never get it.
She is in power.
No, it's like fucking ruling the country or whatever.
She's a bit more than a step closer to power than you and I are, man. We're doing a podcast in South Melbourne. She's in the Senate. Our tax-paying dollars are fucking going to her salary. Tiny little support group, man. That's my point. A tiny little support group. I think my parking's
almost up.
Do you understand?
We're not gonna take
2 minutes off.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it's a tiny little group. Yeah, I agree. But from little things, grow big things, man.
From little things, big things grow.
That's my point, man. That, like, you're right. It's only a little group, and it's not going to make a difference. But enough people sat back, and that's how Trump got into power. That's how Pauline Hanson's in power. That's how all these fucking hacks get into power, because too many people sat there twiddling their thumbs, saying, it's not going to be an issue, don't worry
Should
about
be right.
it. Should be right. And we're like that. And that's the thing. Just because you haven't...
So you don't think that these crazy dudes marching down the street, you don't think they like the violence that comes with it? You don't think they thrive on that shit?
Let them thrive on it. It's not
See how
the
many
point.
people we can bash today. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, maybe, but by not turning up, they're not just they're going to go from marching down the street saying we need this and we need this and we need this. People are just going to fucking join them because no one's opposing them.
No.
Dude, but it's not me.
Why? Why?
It's not me. Okay. This is where you frustrate me, dude.
Oh, look, here's this group and no one's opposing them. I might join them. They look good. Like, just,
Yeah,
why?
either out of fear.
It's like a gang, dude.
But
Like
it's
a
like a
gang.
gang. That's the point. Dude, that's my point. Just because you're apathetic to that and you don't care as long as you have your bills covered and, you can feed yourself.
There's people that believe.
You said 2 seconds ago that you would only step up if, like, there were people on corners, toting guns and food was scarce. Right? That's what you said. That's what it would take for you to step up. I would step up a lot fucking earlier than that. I wouldn't wait till people were in jack boots kicking my door down to say, oh, I'm going to oppose you now. You've got all the guns. You've got all the power. Now I'm going to oppose you when I've got nothing. And then spend like 100 years in fucking,
How are they going to grow to that point of, like...
Talk to Adolf Hitler, dude.
That's different.
How is it different?
Because this is just a different society and shit, dude. It's like
Talk
a
to
world
Trump.
stage
Talk
now.
to
Like,
Trump.
they were, like, segregated
Okay.
and, like, fucking... It was a whole different thing.
So talk to Trump. Talk to Trump.
He'll be out soon, and then we someone else.
It's been a year.
He's got another 2.
He's got another 2. It's been a year. It's been a year. And now Muslim migrants aren't allowed into America. The middle class are getting fucking taxed heavily now.
So, a lot of the people that...
Obamacare got repealed?
Dude,
no more Obamacare?
A lot of the people that voted for him would be saying, shit, I wish I didn't, right?
But he's still in power.
Yeah, but they'd be saying, shit, I wish I didn't. Not because they had, like, a racist agenda. It's just because they thought it was something different. We need something new.
There's two types of people that voted for him. People that wanted change because they weren't happy with the way American finance and economy was going, right? Too many under-promises by Barack.
And people from Texas.
Yeah. And 2, the fucking crazy right-wingers, gun-toting fucking dumb cunts that are rednecks. Those are the 2 people, the Trump voters. Yeah? So what's your point?
Then you got the silent
Well, my point
ones
is, they're not all, like, voting Trump because they hate people of colour. They're just voting Trump because whatever other reasons.
Okay.
It's something different.
But they're still voting to this voice that wouldn't go away. Trump was his best campaign manager because he sold his own fucking rhetoric, because no one stood up, in the feeble attempts to stand up to him and take him seriously. He sold his best rhetoric to all his
he sold his shit. He sold his shit and it was a lie.
These alt-right cunts are doing the same thing here. That's why Yiannopoulos can get fucking sold out fucking speaking
But
tours.
he never based his fucking campaign on like a racial view. It was always like just making shit better
Trump.
for yeah.
Mexicans are coming into America selling, and they're bringing drugs and crime and rapists.
Some Mexicans are okay, but
Some Mexicans are okay.
Well, he said some immigrants are okay. We've got to weed out
Muslims
the
are
bad
coming
ones.
into our country. They're all terrorists. How is that not racial?
Well, he didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
He said we need to weed through and stop the fucking illegal
Muslims,
ones coming.
He filtered that out later. His initial statements were Mexicans are coming into our country that are rapists and fucking drug dealers, and Muslims are coming into our country that are all terrorists. Dude, these quote. See, that's it too.
No, I've watched his speeches. He says like, "I'm trying to weed out the ones that are coming here illegally."
Because no illegal Muslims are coming in.
No, like Mexicans and stuff coming across the border.
It wasn't even about that. It was about stopping Mexicans, period. And then sending Mexicans that were already there, that are established fucking winners, like workers, sending them back. It's got nothing to do with keeping the good ones.
Right.
Well,
And
he
it's
said
even
that.
talking about people like that, which is dude, in a nutshell, honestly, man, I understand what you're saying by thinking that the alt-right movement in Australia is no big deal and it will just go away. It will not go away if no one if no one opposes it.
So you're for the fighting on the street?
I'm not saying you have to fight on the street. I'm saying you need to I've got no problem with people protesting on the street. Protesting and fighting are two different things. If alt-right, if anyone wants to incite violence, it's in their agenda. They're going to incite violence whether they like it or not. You can incite violence at a service station because someone didn't fucking pay you right.
But you're going there knowing there's going to be violence.
I wouldn't be going to a protest thinking that I'm going to get into a brawl. I'd be going to a protest knowing it's going to be fucking anarchy and it's going to be heated fucking exchange of shit. If someone incites violence, that's another third option, dude, that someone takes up. It's got nothing to do with speaking your opinion, man. That's why we have the freedom of speech, and that's why we have civil unrest, civil disobedience, and blah, 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 blah. You have the right to voice your fucking opinion, period.
Yeah, so let them do it and don't go there and fight them.
Yeah, but I'm allowed to voice my opinion, which is not their opinion. I've got the right to go there and fucking voice an an opposing argument.
Yeah.
And my point is this, by simply not turning up to a protest and allowing people to just march through with jackboots and fucking banners, those jackboots and banners aren't just going to go away because you didn't turn up and you couldn't be fucked. They're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the proof of that is Nazi Germany, the proof of that is Pauline Hanson, the proof of that is fucking President Trump. Republican Senate, Republican Congress, they fucking own everything now in America. They own everything. And Republican voters might be shitting bricks because of what they've done, and the other half of the Republican voters are like, yeah, fucking bring it on. We're taking over the world again. Because they're fucking deluded. But for 1 minute will I not say to a racist, you're fucking out of your mind. You're clearly ignorant and you need to be educated on shit. Because they'll go back and tell their racist friends, they'll influence their racist kids, and it'll just keep going and going. Like the Safe Schools Act, like the fucking, all that sort of shit, dude. According to Pauline Hanson, Nick shouldn't even be in the country. I should go back to where I came from. According to Dawn Fraser, I should go back to where I came from. Because Nick Kyrgios...
But that's Pauline Hanson, who everyone hates. And thinks she's a nutbag.
But she's in the Senate.
Yeah.
But you're failing to recognise his point, dude. She's in the Senate. She has a government job representing people. She is in the fucking Senate and she has people backing her. More people than us. That's my point, dude. She's a nut job, like Trump was a nut job. Somehow they're both in fucking forms of power. Trump is in the biggest form of power in the history of the world. That's my point, dude. By being quiet about it, it's not just going to go away because they're going to run out of steam. They don't just get fueled on... They get fueled on anarchy, but depending on what the fucking scenario is, dude. Like...
I'm talking about this is like Australia.
Okay, you're talking about now alt-rights, dude.
Like Milo Yiannopoulos show, people went to protest them, and there was just fucking craziness.
Yeah, because
I don't think that's right.
Fucking lunatic, dude. That's the point. Like, that's the point itself. My point is that you can't just turn your back on a rising wave of fucking hate or political opinion, whatever the fuck it is. You can't just turn your back on it and think it's going to go away. It'll just get bigger bigger and bigger and bigger because they don't need you as motivation. They have their own motivation to get bigger. And they'll find supporters. Like everything will find supporters. Like reality shows find supporters, like fucking drug addicts. I don't support drugs. How come drugs are so fucking big? I can turn my back on a drug dealer on the corner, but if I don't fucking call the cops and get this dealer phoned in, he'll just get bigger. He'll find a fucking customer base because that's just how it is. It's the nature of the beast. It'll fucking grow. We need to be aware of it. We need to be aware of what's going on around us because if we don't, then we may as well just give up on everything, dude. Just take whatever comes, cop it in the ass, buy your Cheerios, and go to sleep. I'm serious, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we're all out of parking.
Yeah, we're going to cop tickets. Yeah, the government's going to ruin us now.
Yeah. I'm going to get a fucking fine now. And watch, $450 fine, year suspension, and I'll call McCormack and see if I can get him to cover it while he's in rehab.
Listen, Mac.
Listen, mate.
All
right, time. Who's fucking got this one today?
Come on, Bobby. Have a crack. And then I'll have a crack after you. Come on.
317.
All right, 3:06.
3:10, 17 seconds.
That's not 17 seconds.
All right, Alright, fuck it. Yeah, till next time.
Done.
We're doing another. Are we doing one before Christmas? Yeah, we are. For sure.
And then we're going to do one post. We'll do a Christmas special.
Yeah.
A very right Christmas.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Part 2, so it doesn't fuck up on us like last year. Alright, cool, man.
Juke leverage out.
When